Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 102. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host,
Dane Cody.
Dane freaking Cody. We get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. Welcome back everybody. Thank you for listening. Welcome new listeners if you're new. If you've never been here before, we usually get into what you've been playing, some news, our public service announcements section, our free-for-all section where we talk about whatever we like. And then, even before all of that, we get into our designated drinking section where Dane likes to share with us what delectable drink he may be savoring on this evening.
I'm drinking some delicious Devil's Cup bourbon.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm not drinking anything. I forgot to grab a drink. I put the baby down to sleep. I gave her a shot of rum. Said, go to sleep, baby. And then I ran down here before she could get up and start crying.
Fair enough.
But no, she went down like the second bricks. That's what happens if you give babies alcohol.
Oh, is that the key?
Yeah. I think my dad or my mom said they used to rub, when I was teething, rub rum on my gums.
Or whiskey on the gums?
I don't know if that was true or they're making that up.
My parents did that with me, so yep.
I wonder how that is.
That's a thing.
I wonder if that is, I guess today's butthurt society would probably be like, that's child abuse.
Probably. I don't know.
Actually,
my parents, grandparents, or whoever it was, they claimed it worked.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to, do it a lot.
I didn't. Turned out screwed up, obviously.
If that's what drunk-ass baby. But
if that's what they did to me, it didn't screw me up. Well,
yeah.
Actually, it did. But that's besides the point. Actually, we've been pretty lucky. She's got another tooth coming in, and I don't know, a lot of people are like, oh, teething's a nightmare, another tooth's coming in. She just kind of seems like bothered by it, but not like screaming and crying. And it's like, yeah, I got a tooth coming in. I'm sucking my thumb more and kind of chewing on stuff a lot, but she doesn't turn into a nightmare. I don't know. I think we're good. Really lucky.
Yes, you are.
Knock on wood. Just all the horror stories I hear.
Yeah. They can be interesting when they're teething, that's for sure.
So Dane.
Yo.
What did you get up to this weekend? Or what did you play, if anything? And if you didn't, I played lots, so...
Oh, you lucky bastard.
You went to the auto show this weekend, didn't you?
Oh, heck yeah, I did.
Saw your photos. It made me jealous, because I had fun when we went last year.
Oh, I had a glorious day. So Friday was my birthday. And so the wife and I went out for dinner. So that was super nice. Just the two of us. We went down. My mother-in-law was in town for most of last week and for most of the weekend. So not a whole lot of video games happened for me, but Friday night dinner with the wife happened, which was awesome. Went down, had some nice cheesecake and deliciousness on the beach. And then on Saturday, I got up and headed into the auto show and spent most of the day there with a couple of good friends. My buddy Owen showed up and my buddy Steve. And we went through, and Vert showed up as well. And my wife came for a bit. And we spent pretty much the whole day. Well, I spent my whole day there at the auto show. It was glorious. Yeah,
everyone else just came and went throughout the day, but you spent the entire day there?
Some people came and went, but most of the people that came stuck around for most, if not all of it.
I saw a bunch of your photos on social media.
Yeah, it was so good.
I remember there was a lot of cool fucking rides when we went last year.
There were some beautiful rides there.
Man, I don't make enough fucking money. I'm in the wrong line of work.
There was a LaFerrari done up in the Superman live relief for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which was super cool.
That was cool.
Yeah. There was a 1953 Maserati race car, which was beautiful, restored, and just gorgeous. There was a 1960 Ferrari 250 SMB, which is stunningly beautiful. Also restored, and if I had to guess, probably worth $10 million.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, there was some there was a
I'm
singer.
going to guess there's not very many of that car.
No, and that was an actual X race car that actually had competed in various races and had over 1,000 race miles on it, which also adds to the whole pedigree of said Ferrari. There was tons and tons of beautiful cars. I got to see the new DB11, so the new Aston Martin DB11. They had one of those there. It was a launch edition, so it was one of the first ones of the new DB11, which is pretty exciting. It was beautiful and very, very, very expensive. Yeah, there was some very expensive, very nice cars there. A lot of Lamborghinis. Surprising amount of Lamborghinis, actually.
I like Lamborghinis.
So do I. I'm not complaining by any means. I got to go down and I finally got to sit in the new Alfa Romeo Giulia, which was exciting. That is, oh man, I want that car real bad. It's so sweet. It's a beautiful 4-door saloon, but man, is it ever pretty. Yeah, Jags and BMWs and everything in between. And yeah, it was great. Got to sit in the Maserati. Yeah, lots of awesome cars. If you're an auto nerd like me, it was a blast.
I liked it when we went last year. Yeah. I was like, when I saw your photos, I was like, oh man, should have gone to Vancouver.
It was good times, man. If I thought you could have made it, I would have invited you, but the thought had occurred, but I was like, well, what are the chances he's going to be able to, ditch the wife and the baby and come over for the weekend? So
yeah. I probably could have. She's ditching me this weekend to go to some convention thing.
What?
Well, a day. So I'm going to have a full
100%
day, like morning till night. Just me and the baby. What could possibly go wrong?
Excellent.
In this wacky family comedy movie.
Yeah.
Rico and a baby.
Yeah, no, it was cool. There was a couple of really cool concept cars there, as well as the new Ford GT was there.
I was going to ask.
Man, that car looks crazy.
That thing looks cool in photos, that's for sure.
Oh, man, I must have spent probably 20 minutes or more just looking over that car and all the crazy angles and the way the aerodynamics work on that car. Yeah, it was wild. Super, super neat.
I told you, I'm pretty sure I told the story in this podcast that my wife's boss owns one of those.
Yeah, one of the older ones.
The early 2000 edition one anniversary one they brought out.
The 2002 version.
Yeah, it's worth a lot of money.
Yeah, they've gone up a lot in value since they came out.
It's got 2 kilometers on it. Like, it's ridiculous.
What's the point?
Oh, he's a car collector, so he's got a lot of cars.
Wow.
Yeah, that's seeing how much in value it's gone up. It's like, what's the point? It's an investment.
Oh no, it is absolutely. I don't know. As a car guy,
oh yeah, I would have been doing burnouts and that fucking thing all the way down the highway.
There's a part of me that hates hearing stuff like that because you know that the car's never even been driven.
Yeah,
it's got 2 kilometers. It literally got shipped to him and he put it somewhere and that's it. I don't know. It kind of defeats the purpose of said car. So for me, as a car enthusiast, that's a little bit painful. But at the same time, seeing the prices that those cars have shot through the roof. I was watching Barrett Jackson a while ago where one of those sold for a little over $500,000.
Yeah, someone offered him $450 for it.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
And I'm like, that's crazy. So like that's 4 times what he paid for it.
Yeah. So the new one is a crazy looking car. It was
awesome.
Super cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
Infinity had an actual Formula 1 car in their booth.
Oh yeah,
which was
I saw that. That was that yellow one. Was that yellow and black?
Yeah. So that was neat. I love the Formula 1 cars.
A fighter jet with wheels.
Pretty much. Yep. Yeah, no, oh man, so many cool cars. So many cool cars. For me, like I said before, the big highlight was the Alfa Romeo Giulia. I finally got a chance to sit in that one, and I absolutely fell in love. Love the interior.
That's cool.
Seats super comfortable.
You got to give me a bigger heads up next year, and I'll come over.
Yeah, well, it always happens end of March, so.
Yeah, I should have realized because Facebook had a bunch of my photos from last year, and they're like, "Share this with your friends," and I'm like, that was a year ago already. I guess it just shows you the stuff that a lot of people liked, and I had like a full album of photos from when we went last year. So that
was my Saturday.
That's what you did.
It was glorious.
Yeah,
I wandered around, drank beer, and looked at cars. It was great. There was some guys selling beers, so we were just wandering around drinking beer.
So there wasn't a lot of video games to be played.
No, like I said, I had my mother-in-law. Oh in town,
damn mother-in-laws. Actually, that's a lie. We played some Wildlands. Some Ghost
We
Recon.
did. We got a chance. So was that Friday night?
Thursday night.
Or Thursday night? Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was good times. It wasn't as long as I would have liked, but funny. It was still a lot of fun.
I forgot to post a video on Twitter, and it reminds me I'm going to have to, of the glitch of when we were playing. Like, for you and Trevor, like, everything looked normal, but on my screen, you were driving the car, but your guy was running behind the car. And it looked fucking hilarious. I took a video of it with my cell phone, because I'm an idiot, and I had shadow play. I don't have shadow play turned on my computer, so I couldn't have just recorded it straight while we were playing. So I just had to whip out the cell phone, and it's like we're driving along, shooting guys, and there's no one in the driver's seat, but Dane's running behind the car.
And the car's driving along.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Or when we were flying a helicopter, you just kept falling out of the helicopter over and over again.
Oh, wow, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's hilarious, because, everything on my end looked fine. Yeah. You looked fine, I looked fine, Trevor looked fine, we all looked fine. So, again, playing that game with people, that was, I think, the first time since the beta that I've played with people, and man, it's a lot of fun.
I've been having fun going back and just clearing out, because me and Trevor kind of playing... I've played the most with him, and it's kind of like that's our boys' night game now.
For sure.
And so I'm not doing any story missions, but like I've just been going back to I think we've cleared 3 provinces out now.
Oh, okay.
So, well, not cleared. The story stuff? Not cleared them, but like killed like 3 of the bouchons, or whatever you want to call them. And basically I've just been going back, grabbing weapons or stuff, weapon parts, and stuff in the areas we've already been in. So, like, when I'm not playing it with him, I'm not making story progression, but I am doing, like, some of the side mission stuff.
Oh, okay,
I did find a sick-ass sniper rifle.
Nice.
So, that makes me very happy. It's got, like, a huge clip and a pretty wicked rate of fire. Actually, it can be full auto.
Oh, wow.
I know, it's pretty ridiculous. It's probably not as powerful as the other sniper rifle, but it's very handy for when you miss, because there's like no delay in lining up your next shot, which is very handy.
That is definitely a few times I got myself in a situation where I missed and it kind of cost me.
You're reloading.
Yeah. And the other guy's like, hey! And
alerts sudden, everyone.
Alarms go off.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, with this gun, you've got a fast enough rate of fire that if you miss, he doesn't have enough time to set off the alarm, so you could still just cap him with another couple shots.
Yeah,
you can even miss a couple more. It's like that fast. I'm like, wow, this is sick.
That's sweet. Yeah, I've been rolling with a regular assault rifle and a sniper rifle as my secondary.
So we played some of that. That's going to be an ongoing staple.
Definitely.
I beat Zelda.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm not done Zelda.
I don't imagine you are.
I have no
idea. Has anyone ever really done Zelda?
I've heard people talk about percentages, but I'm like, I don't know how you get a percentage. Because, like, after you beat it, your save file reverts back to the point before you beat it.
Right.
And there's a star on your save file now.
Oh, okay.
But there's no indication.
So it's kind of like New Game Plus in a way?
Well, yes and no. It's like the same game, but it's like you just turn around and go do all the other stuff you didn't do.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
kind of gives you an opportunity to get out there and if in case you missed anything or whatever. But I'm wondering if there's a ton of stuff in that game though that now that you've beat him once, if it unlocks and opens up various things.
I don't,
because it seems like the type of game that would do that.
I don't think so.
Now that you've done that, it would open up new areas and like maybe new enemies or other like sub bosses or something like that would show up or I don't know.
I don't think so. But
no,
it does. It shows that you beat it, I guess, by showing the star next to your save file. But
right,
I don't know where people are talking about percentage. Maybe I have to do a search. I do know I've played over 80 hours because if you go to your friends list thing and it shows you what people have been playing, and when I hover over my name, it's like played for over 80 hours. Like not an exact number, but that's what it says. That's pretty freaking insane.
Wow.
It's pretty impressive. And I've only done like 51 or 56 shrines.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
So like that's not even halfway. There's 120 of them.
Jeez.
I've done all the main dungeons. I got the Master Sword, and I
gotta ask, when you did the Master Sword, did you go do the trick where you reassigned a whole bunch of health and stamina, or did you just happen to have finished enough shrines to have the health needed?
I had enough life for that. I had actually over a full bar's worth. So it's like 15 hearts, and then it goes down to the second row of life. Yeah. So I had like 16 when I went to go get it. Okay. But I actually did. I actually got rid of one of my heart containers and got the last few temples I did. I concentrated on stamina, so I could probably have like 20 hearts total. But I actually have like a whole extra stamina wheel. And then one whole row of hearts.
The stamina I could see being very helpful.
It is pretty helpful because a lot of weapons. I've been like hunting. Spoiler alert. So if you don't want to hear anything, which is kind of late because we've been talking about it for a bit now, you've probably run into a Lionel.
I've not actually.
No. Okay. Well, they're hands down the strongest enemies in the game.
Right.
And
yeah, I remember, I think last week you said you were out running around hunting them.
Oh, I did? Okay, I couldn't remember if I did or didn't. But yeah, I've been hunting those guys down. And the extra stamina is pretty handy because they drop, the best ones drop these like giant clubs, so they're two-handed weapons. Oh, and when you have two stamina wheels, or worth of stamina above and beyond the original amount that you start with, you can just do like a whirlwind attack for like super long and just do like massive damage, especially when you're fighting those guys or just fighting any strong enemies. It's pretty handy.
Yeah, I can see that being very helpful.
Also makes climbing a lot of stuff super easy.
Yeah, I was reading, I think it was Kotaku did an article, or one of their writers did an article about why you should put all of your... Because in Zelda, in case anybody doesn't know or is curious about what we're talking about, Zelda, when you finish a shrine, you get...
Spirit Orb.
You get a Spirit Orb, and you have to get 4 of those, and when you trade those in, you can choose whether or not you want a heart piece, or a heart.
Yeah, a heart container.
Or a stamina container. And so that's what we're talking about when we're saying that you can have lots of hearts or lots of stamina. But one of the articles that I was reading that Kotaku had posted, it was saying how you should put all of your stuff into stamina and not worry so much about hearts, especially at the beginning of the game, because there's a ton of stuff that's going to one-hit you at the beginning of the game and kill you regardless of how many hearts you have.
I've had stuff that like one-shots me, even with 15 hearts.
Yeah. And so they're just saying that if you put everything into stamina off the bat, you'll probably have a much better experience because climbing everything's going to be better. You're going to be able to run further. You're going to be able to swim better. Like everything that you're going to need to be spending a ton of time doing.
Exploring to unlock the areas and the towers and stuff and the shrines. Yeah. Actually, it's not a bad point.
So it's kind of an interesting article, and up until that point, I'd been putting everything into heart containers because I was thinking, I need lots of heart containers if I want to pull the Master Sword. So,
do you want a spoiler alert?
I know how many I need.
No, not that.
Oh,
a different spoiler alert.
Sure, I'm okay with it.
You can swap hearts and stamina.
Yeah,
I think I already mentioned that. Duh. So too late. Yeah. That got spoiled for you. But you might not find that thing that lets you do that. It depends. It's off the beaten path.
It is.
You might not even encounter it, but
in the article that I read about the Master Sword, they sort of explained that already. Yeah. So yeah. So that part, I mean, not really for me, at least not really so much a spoiler as kind of a gameplay tip as the way I looked at it. But I guess some people could definitely see that.
It's the opposite of spoiler. It's the opposite of the statues you use to bump the stuff up. It's just a different statue.
Yeah.
But you actually have to pay money, so it's not free.
Yeah. It's not overly expensive, though.
No, unless you're to change a bunch of stuff.
And from what I understand, you have to do a small quest at the beginning before you can kind of use it as well.
I was going to say, I don't want to talk about the boss.
No?
Well, everyone knows Ganon. That's pretty obvious. But
right.
Yeah.
I got to ask, was he pretty hard or not? Maybe? Kind of?
It's kind of spoilery. I don't really want to talk about it.
No, I'm not saying you need to tell me how. I'm just asking if he was pretty hard.
I haven't had any trouble with any bosses.
Okay.
But like I can punk Lionel, so I'm pretty good at this game. Just gonna say. So
right.
It was cool. It was a cool fight. I'll say that much.
Okay.
I've liked all the boss fights. I've heard people complain about them. I think they're all fucking cool.
Okay.
But I'm not done. I still want to keep playing that freaking game. I have to stop myself from playing it. That's cool. That's a good freaking game.
Yeah, that is a good game.
But I have been playing something new.
Ooh.
I got my Persona 5. Oh. So excited for it. I got it a day early. Thank you, Amazon.com, for shipping it on Friday.
I want to play that really bad, but I feel like I have so many other games that I've barely touched the surface on. And I feel like that one is a 80-hour at the minimum sort of.
I think it's a couple 100 hours if you're a real. The thing is okay, Persona 5 for the Persona series, for anyone who doesn't know what it is a super J-ass JRPG.
Yes.
It takes place in Japan. It's all about Japanese style, life, high school life, the whole culture. It's a Japanese ass freaking game. And it's like an RPG.
A Japanese RPG crossed with a little bit with almost
a relationship sim.
Exactly. So it gets, like you said, it's a very Japanese-ass game.
Mm-hmm. If like Horizon is your thing, just like keep on walking. If first-person shooters are your thing, this ain't the game for you. It's an amazing game. Mind you, I'm only in the 2 days I've had it, I've been able to squeak out 6 hours, maybe. I just got to a major story point. But this is coming from, like, I love Persona 4 Golden. I have Persona 3. I have Persona 2. I don't think I've beaten 2 or 3, but I've beaten Persona 4 Golden, and I adore that game. I have a Persona hoodie.
Yes, you do.
It's an awesome series. But yeah, so far, it's a little slow. I don't think it opens up as well as Persona 4 did. But
I've heard that it has a real slow start, but once I've heard it gets going really heavy right out the bat, and then it slows off for the next bit.
Yeah,
fairly heavily.
It's different, but it's not different. If you play Persona 4 Golden, you know what you're getting into. It's very similar. So anyway, let's rewind a bit. This game is super anime. Like, it's got anime cutscenes like crazy. Tons of voice acting. the art style is like a manga, Japanese anime come to life. You're a high school student who's been, how do you say? You were expelled from your school. I don't know the relationship with the person you're staying with, but your parents have sent you away to go to another school, which is like the only school that would accept you. Some incident happened, so you were in trouble and you're kind of like on probation.
Right.
You didn't, well, it's not really a spoiler, but it's like what you did was you didn't do a bad thing, but the person that you did it to turned it into you doing a bad thing. They just happened to be someone with power. So they manipulated the situation for
their own devices.
Well, they're not really in the story, but it's a setup and that you look like a bad kid, right? So you get transferred to this new high school. You're staying with this person. I don't know their relationship or why they're watching you. They must know your family. I assume this is going to come up in the story at some point. I'm not, like I said, I'm only 6 hours in. And of course, you're the new kid in high school. Everyone thinks you assaulted someone. The rumors, some people are like, you killed someone. And it's just kind of like totally blown out of proportion. But just to shit.
It's high school.
Well, it's high school. It's also life, right? When people don't know the situation. Oh, I heard that he did this. And I heard it. Like people mumble about you when you're like going through the hallways of the high school and stuff.
Right.
And of course, the Persona games, at least the last one took place in high school. I can't remember the third one at all. This one takes place in high school, obviously. You're the new kid. You have no friends. You know, you've got a checkered past. And these games, they're kind of neat in that they work with, there's like a morning, afternoon, after school, evening. Like there's different time frames as the story moves along, and it goes day by day. There's a calendar. There's big important events that come up in the calendar that you take part in, move the story along. But I haven't gotten to the point where it totally opens up like in Persona 4. There's a point where you get to choose what to do. Right now, it's still tutorial. It's kind of like tutorial mode still, I think. I think I'm just on the cusp of it opening up now fully, where you get to choose what you do, like after school. Are you going to go do the dungeon, level up your guys, try to complete the dungeon? Are you going to go do a side job? Or are you going to go hang out with your friends, which a big part of the Persona games is building your relationships up with your friends, which powers up your personas, and I think it powers them up as well. I haven't seen how it works exactly in this one yet.
Right.
I just have unlocked a couple of my other like teammates or characters that you play with. I've had, I think, my first major boss fight, but I haven't complete the first dungeon. Well, they're not called dungeons in this one; they're called palaces.
Right. And you got to complete the palaces.
Yeah, you got to do them by a certain time. I don't know. Or it's game over. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know what happens if you don't. I assume someone dies. Because the big thing about Persona is it's really weird. You travel from the real world to an alternative world. And it's all about like people's
personas.
Well, yes, they're personas and their true intentions and desires and perversions and whatnot. And they're usually very twisted. So in the other world, you're trying to solve or defeat these twisted bad versions of people, which ends up saving people in the real world and or changing outcomes in the real world. So it's really neat because most of the people aren't aware of the other world, but you interact with their alter egos and bad stuff. And right now, the first dungeon, I'm not going to say specifically, but it's someone at the school, and it's like it's an alternate version of the school.
Oh, interesting.
And this person's like does some nasty stuff, and it's pretty twisted in this alternate reality, but it's not far off from the real world and what they're doing to people. So
got it.
Anyway, it's kind of like Murder Mystery Club. the JRPG with tons of mechanics. There's a little bit of Pokemon because you as the main character can have multiple personas. And personas are basically, it's like your regular RPG. You've got your main characters, right? And you've got your melee attacks. You've got items you can use. In this one, they added ranged weapons, so you can use guns and other ranged weapons. And then you also have your personas, which are essentially your magic. And basically, your personas are these really cool, powered-up like monsters that you control, and they have different attack types, whether it be like fire, ice. There's all kinds of new ones in this one as well. Wind. There's about 10 to 15 different damage types. So the different,
and is it totally one of these, like you said, like Pokemon, where certain things are weak against other things?
Absolutely. It's super Pokemon-esque in that, like, the enemies you fight have different weaknesses, and it's really cool. There's like so many mechanics in the fighting system. It's turn-based, so it's like your classic Final Fantasy. You know, if you sneak up on an enemy on the overworld, it's not an overworld, but in the dungeon or palace, right? You get like an advantage, so you get to attack first. They have
nice.
That,
so it's not random.
They have that. No, you see the enemies. So you can avoid them, or you can, surprise attack them and ambush them and get the, the little catch them off guard and get the first attack, do some extra damage. But it's really neat in that if you use the right attack type that they're weak to, it knocks them down and puts them in a vulnerable state where that you can follow up with another attack and do more damage. And or if you can keep that chain going and knock down all the enemies, because they won't get up right away. They're like, dizzy stars around their head. If you happen to be able to chain all the weaknesses of all the enemies you're fighting, then you can do like a crazy, super powered up all out attack where your whole team just like annihilates them and you get these really cool animations and big ass attack. Which is kind of cool. So, as learn enemies and know their weaknesses and have more personas available to exploit weaknesses, you can do some crazy damage or just totally, like, you can one-shot a whole group of enemies when you know their weaknesses and plan out your turns properly. So, it's really cool because it's almost like figuring out a puzzle, and pulling the right move off that basically in the right order, and you just kill everyone, which is kind of neat. Of course... Yeah. You can just bash your way through. It's not as effective and use your personas. There's only so much points or power that you can use to use your personas. The attacks, you can't just like spam it because you'll run out, right? But your guys have their normal attacks too. This game is, in terms of like just like an anime come to life, it's amazing looking. The style and the production on this game is unreal.
It looks really cool from the videos and the screenshots and stuff that I've seen.
It's so stylish. Like, everything is super stylish. From just pausing the game and the motion between the different menus, like when you're just going to check out your party, it's all like super animated and really stylized and cool looking. Everything is just pops. It's so vivid and designed so well. This game has such an amazing style. Above and beyond the fact that it's anime art style, which I love. Like, I love anime. It's always been my favorite type of art style. It just looks so, and it's such a vibrant, cool looking game. I can tell, even though I've only played 6 hours, compared to what I've played with Persona 4, which I think I've dumped in 150, maybe 200 hours in that. I'm pretty positive. I've identified the start's a little slow, but I've gotten to a point where it's like, oh shit, just hit the fan.
Yep.
But the mechanics are there, similar. Obviously, there's new stuff I haven't seen yet, which obviously probably streamlined a lot of systems, and some of the additions are probably, I assume, are going to be better because they usually move forward in these types of games with making stuff better.
Definitely.
They usually don't go backwards. I can tell that I'm really going to like this game. I'm really enjoying what I've played so far. I've got the Vita whipped out. I'm doing the remote play because it's perfect being an RPG. It's,
takes a ton of time.
When I'm at home, it looks amazing on the Vita.
Right. Okay.
Remote play, or I was remote playing on my Mac, and it looks awesome.
That's good.
When you're in home, but when I was, on my lunch break at work, we've got Wi-Fi at a lot of places. I can play it on the lowest settings so that it streams smoothly.
Really?
And you don't notice because it's not like it's not like playing Destiny in remote play where if it lags out, it's noticeable.
Because it's a huge problem.
Because for the most part, timing and responsiveness is not really important because a lot of it is dialogue trees and, moving around environments, but it's not like you're going to get punished for any type of lag. It's not time.
Right. It's not a Twitch shooter.
Yeah, the Vita's been dusted off, and people were like, "Oh, the only drawback of Persona 5 is it's unlike Persona 4, which you could take everywhere on your Vita." Well, you take it everywhere on your Vita. That's the beauty of remote play. Like, you forget it. You forget. Like, I don't know how remote play in home for Horizon would probably be okay.
Right.
But that's a game I don't want to remote play. But we've all heard the story before. For me, the handhelds with the baby have been
a lifesaver.
Yeah, because I could lay on the couch. I can still be present with my wife when the baby's asleep. I'm not hiding in my dungeon or in the office and ignoring everyone. So it makes sneaking in game time a little easier.
Right.
Because it's not as, where the fuck did he go? He's gone again,
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
And, you're
gonna go hide in your office now? Okay.
Yeah. And when my baby's awake, I like to be with her. So, but when she's going to bed, Nikki's watching her lame hospital dramas, which I don't care about, but it's still like, I have my game night.
Yeah.
A couple times a week. So it's like for some of the days that I'm not, it's like, okay, well, I could easily go hide in the office because we're not watching our shows, but it's like, I'll just lay on the couch. That's like what makes playing Zelda so easy with the Switch, or playing this now on remote play. And then I'm present and I can talk to her, right?
Yeah, for sure.
200 hours hiding from my family is not very constructive. Though I love it,
no.
It's not always the right thing to do because, real life. But yeah, I'm really liking this game. I got the Super Collector's Edition. The voice acting is fantastic. I'm already in love with one of the characters in the game. Actually, I'm in love with two of the characters in the game.
I think the last... it's not technically a Persona game. The last game I played in that universe was the Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah. Same.
I think that was for
same team.
PlayStation 2?
I think they're the same teams, or they might be separate teams, but the same developer.
Well, I know Persona used to be like an offshoot.
Yeah, Persona's
it was almost like a side story in the Shin Megami universe. Yeah. And then it kind of became, I don't even think it has the Shin Megami name in Persona 5, actually.
Or 4. I think.
Did they take it out for 4 as well?
3 was the last one to have it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to look.
Because that was the main game before, and the Persona was sort of a side game. So, yeah.
You keep talking. I'm going to look on my shelf because it's right behind me.
I just remember in the Shin Megami game that the enemies, you would almost collect them. So you had an opportunity when you fought one that you could, if you beat it to a certain point, it was almost a little bit like a Pokemon game where you could convince it to join your party.
We're both wrong.
No,
Persona 4 has Shin Megami Tensei. Persona 4.
Oh, there you go.
I wonder if maybe 5 is the first one to actually get rid of it. But yeah, they loosely have that name on them because the Devil Summoner. Maybe it's maybe I don't know. Maybe that describes the type of RPG it is.
Well, like I said, I thought it was the universe. I thought that the other games
because the Devil Summoner in that universe seem much darker. Yeah, Persona 5 definitely doesn't have it.
Yeah, because the original Shin Megami Tensei was
curious as to
Super Nintendo.
I'm very curious as to what that means now.
It means, well, they're based on the apocalypse. Shin Megami Tensei means true goddess reincarnation.
You're looking at it right now?
I am. Is a post-apocalyptic role-playing video game developed and published by Atlas, originally released for the Super Famicom. It had been ported to multiple systems and eventually released in the West for iOS in 2014.
Yeah, it's a spin-off of the Mega Tensei franchise, based on the high school setting of Shin Megami Tensei. Huh.
Yeah. You essentially go through a portal and fight dudes, and it was a whole
okay, so Shin Megami Tensei is the game that was based in a high school and the protagonist are high school students. And since then, with Persona 3, so the Persona 3s are all high school based ones. So that's that's what that is about.
Gotcha.
Which is cool. Yeah, because who doesn't like high school?
The last one was... Yeah, the last one I played was Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga was the one that I would have played.
Yeah, those ones are very different.
They're fucking hard.
They are hard.
I remember
Persona
getting
can be hard.
quite a ways through and all of a sudden hitting like almost a brick wall just because of the way
they're super hard.
The game worked.
I don't think the Persona ones are as hard, but you can get into a place where you might have trouble with the boss if you don't have the right personas or like counter attack types.
Right.
Because then you could potentially be weak to that boss and do very little damage, yet take tons of damage. So which is kind of lame, but there's always a workaround. You just might have to grind the dungeon an extra day or two, and
right.
Yeah, because like I was talking about with these games, they go day by day, and you know, one day on the weekend, school's closed, and then you hang out with your buddies and go to the mall, or you go to the palace or dungeon and make progress up until you get to the main boss to beating it. But meanwhile, you're getting levels and getting more personas unlocked.
Right.
So if you can't beat them, it's like, that's not a big deal. You could just leave the palace or dungeon and then go do some other stuff, come back, grind out some more, and you'll know what you need to do. So, they're not a total cakewalk.
Yeah, I remember I hit more or less a spot in Shin Megami Tensei where I couldn't really move forward and I couldn't really go backwards, and that was kind of where I ended up stopping playing.
Yeah.
It was a weird spot where I almost got myself in
those ones,
like too deep or something.
Those ones are, I know one of my friends plays the 3DS versions of them, and they had said they got to a point where it's like, I just can't make any progress, and I'd have to go back so far, and they don't want to.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me.
It's super turn based, right? It's not like Final Fantasy 15. It's like real time with some pausing the fight elements.
Mm-hmm.
The Persona series is huge. It's like Atlas's biggest franchise. I'm pretty sure this game's going to do really well. It's not, but it's not. It's also not a mainstream game. Oh yeah, it's probably one of the best rated RPGs in a while. It's 9s and 10s. Everyone loves it. And I can see why. Like, it seems, I can tell. Like, I haven't played that long, but I can tell it's a quality title. Man, the polish on it is so high. It's so beautiful. I don't know. I love anime. I love Japanese culture, Japanese art. I love Japan. Like, the Japanese pavilion at like Walt Disney World is like my favorite place.
Yeah,
I want to go to Tokyo.
Yeah, I'd like to go there.
You know, and I want to go to high school again.
That I don't particularly want to do, but Japan, yes. High school.
So the problem I have now with this massive game
is finding time to play.
Well, the remote play is the solution. So I can sneak in an hour or two on breaks and lunch, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem is like, okay, this is a giant game. I think I have to like cold turkey it for the next week and just like finish Horizon. So I'm pretty far in Horizon.
Yeah.
Like, I've managed, like, I didn't talk about it a lot on the last couple podcasts, but, like, I got the super crazy armor. I'm, like, level 32 now. I think I'm pretty far in the main storyline, which is Horizon has a fantastic freaking story.
I've heard from other people that have said the exact same thing that you just said, where they were saying, "Oh, I think I'm pretty far." And then they found out that they were actually only about a lot less further than they were.
I don't think there's a percentage anywhere.
No,
I don't know.
Not a story percentage.
I'd have to look at the actual PlayStation save file, because sometimes those have percentages.
Hmm.
But that story is really freaking good. It is really good. It's not what I expected. It's a really cool justification for that world. Like,
that's
like
cool.
How did this all get here? It's like, there's answers for that. Which is so cool, because in so many games, they have these fantastical worlds or these elements, supernatural or futuristic or whatever. But they're never addressed, or there's no good explanation. It's just because it said so. That's why. But why, Dad? No, just shut up. I said so. Right? Like, movies are like that. Like, lots of stuff is just like that. This world is so well realized and built in Horizon. And I think the story is so cool. Like, it's such a cool premise. Like, the whole setup is really cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, now that I'm waking up early again and going to be playing at least a few hours of games every day.
Before work.
Yeah, before work. Like I did a year ago. It's my wife. It's her spring quarter. She wakes up super early, so I tend to do a similar thing. Get up early. This morning I got up and watched anime because I was feeling super lazy. But
One Punch Man.
What's that?
One Punch Man? Sorry, I was leaning back.
No, I've already.
Oh, you finished
One Punch Man. Yep. Yeah, that's short. That season is what, 12 episodes or something? It's super short.
I've been meaning to watch that.
Yeah. No, I've been. We'll get to that later on. But I'm
now you're gonna have a lot of extra time again. You're gonna be back to the Dane who's beating like a game every week.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, I don't know, because all the games that are on my plate right now are like super fucking huge. Yeah, exactly. It's like ridiculous. But Horizon is a game. I don't know why. I find like in the morning when I get up super early and I'm going to play something, for whatever reason, I find it easier to play games on my PlayStation. I think it's because I could just sit on the couch and be super lazy.
Horizon's a really good game to just jump in. Like, you can do little bite-sized chunks and but make progress. Whether it be just traversing the map to where the next quest takes place, or the fact that you just put your PlayStation 4 in rest mode. But I don't feel like when I play that game, that I'm wasting time. Like, if I only get to play half an hour, I feel like I can do something. I can do do a side quest. I can unlock something on the map. Like, that's awesome. I really like it respects my time.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. That's huge for me. So it all depends. I go through moods where I'll want to play certain types of things, and so who knows? We'll see where my mood takes me recently. Like I said, I woke up this morning and just didn't really feel like playing video games, so I just watched some anime. But
hands down though, man, that Horizon Zero Dawn is I think the best looking game.
I think it is easily one of the prettiest games I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's
currently.
It's got a little jank, but
yeah, a little bit here and there. But overall, from what I've seen,
visually, that game is so stunning,
beautiful.
I like going.
And I'm not playing it on a pro. You're playing it on a pro too.
Yeah, I'll go from one area to another and just have to stop and actually just look at the scenery, because it's like I'm like, I'm fucking playing. This is a fucking video game. I'm playing this. This is real time. I'm in control. This is unreal. Yeah, and this is coming from a guy who has, we both have pretty killer PCs.
Yeah.
And this game is just the art direction. Oh, man. That's an awesome game. I think as much as it pains me that I want Persona 5 so bad. I think I've just got to put it off for another week and just wrap up Horizon.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
So yeah, so I mean, it's so hard because like I said, right now, like I really want to play Persona 5. I feel like I'm in a spot where I've been yearning for like a good Japanese RPG again.
I think we're coming into a big lull, so I think you're going to have some time soon.
I'm hoping.
At least for big releases.
Yeah. Just because, man, I don't know. I feel like I haven't played a really awesome JRPG in a while. So I really want to play that one. It is right up there, but there's this little part of me that also thinks I need to jump back in and play some more Chrono Cross and stuff. That one, the only problem I have with that I'm finding is that just like a lot of those older RPGs, the trick is the save points can be a little bit tedious.
That's where those
few and far between.
That's where those old games, speaking of not respecting your time, it's like, okay, I need to fucking save, like real life's going on. It's like,
I gotta get ready to go to work now.
Wait,
my 2 hours is up.
There's no save point for freaking another 3 hours of gameplay. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of a dungeon and I can't save. So that's the only trick with that, and it sucks because there's been multiple times where I've felt like, I really want to play more of that, and I just didn't feel that I had the block of time to be able to do that and feel comfortable getting into it and being able to do that. So there's a few things on my plate.
Yeah, that can be annoying. I will say Persona 5 kind of has that too. Like if you're
I've heard that Persona 5 there's a shitload of save points though. You can save in a lot of places.
As many times as you want, but when you're in like some of the storied sequences, you can't
get out of those. Right, you can't
save it all, so you got to get through it. And some of them are long. Like I'm talking like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes of like story moments and conversation and plot moving forward that aren't like dungeon per se, but for whatever reason it doesn't let you save during those.
Right.
And it's like, because when you're going through any of those on the screen at any time, you'll see there's a fast forward option in the bottom. So like if you've replayed the stuff, you could fast forward through it.
Right.
But it's like that. I found that a little annoying because there's a couple times where I just want to, I'm like, hey, I got something to deal with. But you know what? I find the PS4 and rest mode works really well. Even though I haven't saved the game, God forbid there be a power outage. I've put it in rest mode in the middle of cutscenes or in the middle of story segments, and then I pick up and it's like right where I left off.
Well, that's
though
good.
I hadn't saved it there. There's no issues, right?
Yeah. So there's a few things to kind of think about, and like I said, I tend to go through moods where I'll want to play certain types of things. That is one of the ones that I really want to.
I think I'm going to
get into.
I think that'll be my goal. I think I'm going to beat Horizon in the next week.
Yeah, definitely won't beat it in the next week.
If I don't turn into a total crackhead and get addicted to Persona 5.
See, and then there's the other part of me that feels like when I left off doing this last year, I was halfway or 3/4 of the way through Batman. So there's a little part of me that feels like maybe I should continue that. And I know. Like I said,
when I leave something for too long, it's like, I'm not going back.
I find that that's happened to me before, but at the same time, I have a few games.
It happens more often
where
I've
gone back after a long time, and I'll pick up and I'll play a whole bunch of it, and sometimes I'll beat it, sometimes but
that's the worst when you pick up a game and you're like, how the fuck? What am I doing? I don't even know what's going on anymore. That's the big challenge.
Yeah, it's brutal because I have a little bit of. I left Darksiders in the wrong spot.
Yes, that is a terrible game to not go through.
Yep. So there's a few locations where you don't want to quit because you want to either come right back to it or you want to finish it all in one shot. So right now there is the one dungeon that everybody that's played that game will agree that dungeon sucks ass. And I am 3/4 of the way through that dungeon, but I know every time I go think about playing it, because I know I'm 3/4 of the way through that game now, and I want to beat it because I own the second one, the re-release, the remaster, etc. I really want to play it because I love that universe. I love the art. I love
you feel
all
like
of that.
You got to beat the first one before you can start the second one.
Yeah. And now every time I go to think about playing the first one, I know exactly where I am in that fucking dungeon. And I'm just like, oh, I don't want to have to deal with that.
There's a part in Darksiders 1 that
made you want to scratch your eyes out.
It wasn't one of the dungeons, but it was like progressing the story. I got a new ability or item and had to go back to a certain area to continue the game. And I couldn't for the life of me remember how to get back to that point. And I swear I was stuck for like 4 or 5 hours. Like couple gameplay, like sit down sessions of like, God damn, for the fuck, I need to go here, but where the fuck is here?
Yeah.
I didn't quit, and I found it, but I don't think I've ever had it that bad in any game. And now I don't know if that is my fault for the quitting and picking up, but it also could have been part and parcel of the fault of the game for not guiding me very well.
Doing a better job of telling you where you were supposed to be headed.
That's the one thing I will say actually about Horizon Zero Dawn is that there's a couple parts where you're supposed to climb. Yeah. And the environment is so detailed that I feel like there's been a couple instances where it's not like in Uncharted 4, you never have a problem figuring out where you had to climb.
You knew what you could and couldn't climb.
Yeah, and in Horizon, they do the yellow kind of thing, like that Uncharted 4 did. But I find there's a couple parts where I've been like, how the fuck do I get up there? Like my quest indicator is telling me to go up there, but I can't climb this rock face, and I can't climb this rock face. I'm like, what the fuck am I missing? And some games are really good with like environmental clues, like the way the light shines kind of naturally highlights the path. Or just the way it just kind of, the level funnels you in that direction as well in some games. Like they don't have any colors or anything, but just the way the level was designed funnels you in the right direction. There's been a couple times in Horizon where it's like, okay, I just jumped to my fucking death. Okay, I wasn't supposed to go that way. So
that could be a little bit annoying from time to time.
It's not terrible, but it's happened a couple times. But I'm bringing up that point because I think that's why I got stuck in Darksiders. Because it is a little bit of, we don't want to fucking just put an arrow on the ground and paint what direction you need to go in. Because that's no fun too, right?
For sure.
But it's like, there just wasn't enough that if you quit at this point, I'm sure some people probably quit at the same point that I did and just never figured out where to go. They were just like, fuck this, or had to restart.
Right.
That's not cool.
Or looked it up.
I probably could have looked it up, but that...
See, and that's the thing. I'm at the point in my life now where I don't have the 5 or 6 hours to run around aimlessly now.
This was a few years ago. I don't know when that game came out, but...
It came out quite a while ago, I think. Yeah. Anyways.
I hear you.
So yeah, I'm at the point in my life now where if I run around for 20, 30 minutes and I'm still totally clueless as to where I'm supposed to go or what I'm supposed to do, I just look it up now. Because otherwise, I get frustrated. I feel like the game doesn't respect my time. I don't have time to be dicking around with this. But I'm at a point now, I know exactly where I'm at in Darksiders. I know exactly what I need to do. And it's just this tedious, slightly stupid, I need to blow the bombs up and climb to the top of this stupid tower. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, that game has been phenomenal. And I love pretty much everything about it. But for whatever reason, it is this one dungeon. This is the water dungeon of Darksiders. It's just
play Horizon.
A little bit annoying. So
new rule: if you don't play a game for a month, you have to give it away.
Oh man,
oh man,
I give away a lot of games.
Yeah, seriously, be giving away a lot of games as well.
Yeah. So anyways, I did not play much. Like I said, we played a little bit of stuff with you, and that was about all I got up to as far as gameplay goes. So
nice. Well, yeah. With that, I'm going to say that's what we've been playing. Let's get into some news and stuff. Persona 5 reviews. We got a roundup that we shared on the site and our Twitter. Clearly, we already talked about this. In.
People love that game.
9s and 10s. It's pretty. It's good. People like it. That's a good thing.
Out of curiosity, you bought the boxed set, right?
Yeah. The what's it called?
The one with all the doohickeys and doodads.
Take Your Heart. Yeah, Take Your Heart edition, which is kind of cool because they're not. Take Your Heart Premium Edition. They're not expensive though. Like it was like $100, and you got like a stuffy, an awesome art book, like a hardcover comic-sized art book.
Wow.
Soundtrack, really cool steel bookcase, and a collector box. And it also comes with a bag, which I'll never use because it looks stupid. Well, it doesn't look stupid. It looks cool. It's the bag that the kids from the high school have.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But, like, it's $100. It's not, like, bullshit $200 like some of these other stupid collector's editions.
$250 or $300.
I cut you off there. What were you going to ask about that? That I just got that, or...
It's a PS4 exclusive, right?
Yeah, it's on PS3 as well. I didn't know that. I thought it was really? PS4 only, which is kind of weird.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I saw that I was an EV today, and I noticed they had it for PS3 as well.
I don't know why I was kind of hoping it was on PC as well.
Amazing game, not for everybody. It's a Japanese role-playing game. Very Japanesey, very role-playing gaming. If you don't like either of those things, stay away. If you are interested, it's probably not a bad series to get into if you have ever been on the Fringe experience, because it's very different, though. It's also not, it's traditional, but it's super not traditional in the way it does its storytelling. So, anyway.
So what he's saying is don't go buy this game because we said it was awesome and then hate it, and then tell us later that you hate everything to do with anime and Japanesey stuff.
You've been warned.
And it's
not for everyone. I shared a little story from Kotaku that gives you a bunch of tips on how to play because of all the different systems in Persona 5. If you have played Persona 4, you're probably aware of a lot of this stuff. So not bad, not really spoilery, but if you've never played the game, it will probably save you from missing some key stuff, make life a little easier. And then the final bit of Persona 5 news is, and the internet actually went kind of crazy over this yesterday/today, is that Atlas has threatened to go after people who stream too far into the game, with YouTube copyright strikes, and the fact that the PS4 itself blocks the share functionality of the PS4. But in terms of other streamers posting stuff to YouTube and Twitch, they're getting ID claims and channel strikes or account suspensions because Atlas doesn't want this game to be spoiled by anyone.
Yeah, I mean they're blocking it so long as you're streaming it from the PlayStation itself, and I'm sure you could probably still use capture.
Oh yeah, you still can, but those are the people who are getting the copyright strikes.
It's and it's crazy. After, if I remember correctly, it's after in-game date of July 7th.
And it's true. This is a kind of
That's
game
what they don't want you to stream past.
You don't want stuff spoiled. These Persona games have multiple endings. They usually have pretty giant plot twists. And for a game that's very long, that can wreck it for you and make you sad. So a lot of people are really upset about that. It's a Japanese game.
I'm on the fence about it.
I don't care either way. I totally feel like they're absolutely justified.
I feel like...
But also that's like 10 years ago.
I understand what they're trying to get at, but at the same time, at this day and age, I feel like you can't really do that because it's people bought it and it's up to them whether or not they want to stream it. Like, it's a weird thing.
It is weird.
I don't know. I see both sides of that coin, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it or where I fall with it.
I think both sides are dumb. They're dumb for blocking it, and people who stream 200-hour game is dumb too. So,
but you know that there's going to be people that are going to stream the entire game,
absolutely.
and people are going to watch along. And I guess this is my point: is that some people love that. They love the fact that they don't necessarily need to play it, but they still get to be a part.
And or they'll hopefully go buy it.
They maybe will.
Or they won't.
Maybe they wouldn't play it in the first place. Though.
Yeah, that's true. Right?
So you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think of there's a bunch of games when I was younger, growing up, that friends of mine watched me play that they weren't interested in playing themselves, but they liked watching it. And
they felt like they didn't have to play it after you played it because they experienced the whole thing. Yeah, and that's true.
So I mean, I don't know.
You don't have time and. Streaming's convenient for streaming's popular because there's a lot of people who can't play games anymore, but they love the culture, or not the culture, but they love the art form and they love the entertainment, and they still want to feel like they're taking part. And streamers help some of those people. So, for me personally, I like playing stuff myself, but it is ass backwards. In 2017, telling people they can't do what they want with something they own is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a weird.
It's a funny story. So, Destiny 2, officially revealed. It was revealed at our last podcast. Well, the teaser was revealed, and then after...
the logo that said Destiny 2 was revealed.
And then after they recorded or released that little teaser of Cade, they had a big pre-rendered trailer that they released, which is still, in my opinion, just a freaking teaser.
All they did was show like, hey, we're gonna show you a cool cutscene, and it's gonna be Destiny 2.
It was a cool cutscene which heavily featured Cade, set up the main villain for the sequel, as well as a lot of the reasonings as to why none of your stuff carries over, and more Nathan Fillion. There's nothing wrong with that. It was pretty awesome. I thought it was cool. Some people complained that they didn't like it. I thought it was awesome. They took the best stuff of Destiny and made a freaking trailer about it.
Yeah, and they also announced that there's going to be an upcoming gameplay.
So May 18th.
Unveiling.
They'll have an actual gameplay live stream, which I assume...
this is what the actual game looks like.
May 18th, a couple weeks before E3. Very close to probably Judges Week, so probably a lot of people will be, in the media will be getting hands-on around that time frame. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for May 18th. I really liked the trailer. I thought it was funny. I like Cade 6. He's an awesome character. I have pre-ordered the game. I got my cool little Cade 6 statue from EB Games.
Yep.
And yes, I will probably put a lot of time into Destiny 2. I have...
You said you've already pre-ordered?
I already pre-ordered. I got my beta code and everything. Oh, the most important part, for PC, officially confirmed.
Oh, hell
So, the sweet part about this is all my asshole buddies, besides Dane, will get it on PC. None of them jumped in on the PS4 version. So now, like, between my boys' night dudes and you, we'll have enough for... I assume there's going to be raids still. So I assume we'll have enough for, like, a full squad on PC, which will be pretty freaking awesome.
I just can't wait to play it on PC with a keyboard and mouse. Oh, man.
I know. I came so close to contemplating buying the keyboard and mouse adapter for Destiny.
Yeah.
Because some of my friends, like my super hardcore friends who played Destiny, they all had the mouse and keyboard adapter on PS4. And, yeah, they said they steamrolled people in PvP.
Yeah. That was the closest that was the most I ever played an FPS game on a console. By far and away, a controller. I played the most Destiny on my PS4.
I'd say the only disappointing aspect of the announcement was that the collector's edition of Destiny 2, I think, blows It's fucking terrible.
The only thing that I'm disappointed about is that I didn't see it able to pre-order on Steam.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how you pre-ordered on PC. I know on Amazon, when you look at
Wait, I thought you said you pre-ordered it.
I pre-ordered EB. But
for the PC.
For PC. Because I wanted the little Cade figure that they were giving away. Right. But I was going to say, I noticed on Amazon, the box art for the PC version says download only. So it's like it's just a box with a code. But it doesn't mention anything about Steam or what. It's Activision, so I assume it's going to be Steam.
Yeah, that was the
Unless
thing.
They
said
to be
available for pre-order now, and I was like, cool. So then I went to Steam, thinking that's where I've been able to pre-order every other Activision game all the time, and it's not there.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think you can pre-order it anywhere for PC digitally yet. That's interesting. I wonder. I guess it's going to have to be on Steam because Activision doesn't have a stupid platform. And dear God, I hope they do not create one, or I will be very upset.
It makes two of us. But again, the last thing I want to do, no offense to you, is the last thing I want to do is go buy a box for a freaking PC game. It's 2017 for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Do you know the last time I bought a box for a PC game?
I just wanted the cool figures, so shut up. I like boxes.
It was a long time
I like
ago.
boxes for my shelf.
No, I know. I don't have room for that crap, so.
Well, I have a giant mansion, so I have tons of room. Actually, I don't have a giant mansion. I'm just being an asshole. But I have shelves, and I like showing off boxes.
I have a tiny-ass apartment, and I can't already show off all the cool shit that I have. I've got Transformers in boxes and stuff still. They're not even on the shelf.
So that was probably the even more cooler thing. PC. That makes me excited. Yes. Hey. Remember everyone's favorite internet friend, aka villain, Palmer Luckey, founder of Oculus, is out. I don't know if he was escorted out or left on his own accord, but after months of all the silence and the pro-Trump shit-posting shit that he was funding, and I guess his political views or stuff, his shenanigans online. He's gone.
Yeah, I saw that. He's left Facebook now. Essentially, he's left the company he helped build.
So 6 months ago is when all this shit went down. And that's when, with the exception of the court proceedings, he has essentially been invisible. So it's pretty obvious that it's like, yeah, you're done here. You're just here until the court stuff. And or maybe
my guess is there was probably some sort of a contract or something going on that he had to wait out to.
I love the top comment here. Guess this just wasn't his lucky day.
Oh,
yeah, whatever. Fucking rich asshole. Whatever. He stole Oculus. He didn't do shit. I'm just kidding, obviously. He's done way more than I have. I'm very jealous of someone who got $2 billion for a company who is a little over half my age. But hey, this is the world we live in. You do shit and piss people off on the internet. You could end up paying real life consequences. I guess for him, not so much because he's a millionaire. So cry me a river. But at the same time, it kind of sucks that you've been pushed out of your passion project or whatever.
Company you help build.
Yeah, that's lame, and at the same time, not lame. You do stupid shit. Like, that was pretty dumb what he was doing, like funding an internet hate group, racism.
Yeah, you're sort of asking for it at that point.
It's not like he didn't do anything. It wasn't a bad joke on the internet. It was like funding a hate group. That's pretty not cool, especially to be when you're a very big popular figure. Trying to usher in like a new technology, like people don't want to be associated with that. Unfortunately, he probably did more damage than good for Oculus.
Yeah, probably.
Whatever. He's gone. We kind of knew that. You don't get silence like that. If that's not a good sign ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, new Zelda Breath of the Wild patch fixes frame rate issues. Like, look at that. Nintendo doing patches, getting all up in 2017s with the real console and game devs patching their games and stuff.
From what I understand, it doesn't I think fixes issues is maybe a little bit superfluous, but it definitely helps. How's that?
A lot of the worst areas don't drop as bad, or if at all anymore, which is, it's pretty nice. So now if they can do a couple more quality of life things, that'd be great. And the Wii U version got jack shit, because who gives a shit about the Wii U version?
Pretty much. But hey, I'm glad to hear that Nintendo's doing stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because the way they've handled all of their internet network stuff kind of had me worried for a while that this was going to be another...
I probably played 99% of that game in handheld mode, so it was never an issue for me.
Right.
I did beat the game on my TV, and I definitely didn't notice any frame rate issues, so...
Good.
But that was, obviously, it's been... That patch came out, I think, literally like right after we recorded last week.
Yeah, it did.
And then what do we got here? Okay. YouTube.
And I've...
Nope.
Go ahead.
Nope. You
YouTube.
go. You were going to say something.
Oh, I was going to say I've played most of that game so far on my TV with my Pro Controller.
Yeah. So for you, you'll probably notice it when you start playing it again if you haven't played it much since the patch.
Yeah.
YouTube. Their latest advertising changes have had a lot of big prominent YouTubers basically start war with Wall Street Journal as they blame them for the changes. But basically YouTube has been pulling ads from thousands, if not tens of thousands of channels as all the shit going down with PewDiePie. This stems from the PewDiePie stuff, I think, is what started this all. More advertisers had started noticing that their ads were blatantly placed on videos that they don't
want to be associated with in any way, shape, or form.
Wall Street Journal did a story that basically showed big time advertisers ads on straight up racist videos. We're not talking about PewDiePie's racist joke, just racist shit on YouTube. There's all kinds of
stuff that they definitely do not want to be associated with.
So, as a reaction, and this is YouTube and Google, and of course, it's all algorithms and computers that do it all, basically yanked ads off of, I guess, maybe people's videos that just had swear words or questionable language, but at the same time, people's YouTubers' channels, their monetization, their money, basically, had been just plummeting. And they're like, oh shit, I ain't gonna make rent. And this was like a blanket thing. A lot of the biggest YouTubers have been affected like this. So there was no, there was no we'll give the pass to those guys because they're big. It basically kind of seems to me like if you have videos with any profanity, as simple as profanity, it seems like your videos have been flagged and ads have been pulled.
This whole thing is, this all in a way feels like a giant form of censorship in a way, because suddenly you've got people who make videos and they make money off of advertising on YouTube. And while I don't necessarily agree with a lot of these people's videos or content or whatever, the fact of the matter is that they're out there and they're making it and they're making a living off of it. And clearly enough people are watching it that that's a thing that they're doing. And now, because YouTube is suddenly monetizing or demonetizing everything that they can think of that may or may not be advertiser
let's be honest,
friendly.
It's not curated by anyone. This is just a blanket
There's
software.
Just their algorithm that just fucking does some stuff.
Which is fine, because to be honest, a lot of the people that make these videos that are really popular on YouTube, none of these brands would advertise with on TV. They wouldn't be caught dead. So, in my opinion, they've kind of benefited by the tools not identifying their videos for years. Yeah. I don't care that people say racist shit. You can say whatever you want. You're a human pile of garbage if you say that shit. But, you know, these comedians say stuff that's questionable. We swear a lot. You know, Coke's never going to want to ad with us because I say the F-bomb every fucking other word out of my mouth. I don't even notice that I swear, right?
Yeah.
Whether our content's questionable or not, doesn't matter. We say profanity. We're not a family friend.
We touch on some sensitive topics.
We're not a family friendly show. So the biggest advertisers, the ones that spend money, don't want to put ads on our shit. Which goes to, it doesn't matter if you're PewDiePie or Philip DeFranco or any of these other yahoos on YouTube. Your shit ain't ad friendly. So cry me a river. You based your business on someone else's platform that you don't control. What did you think was going to happen? At any time, the rug could come out from underneath you. You don't run your own advertising company. You don't have your own, media and marketing groups. This is just one of the realities of if you base your business on YouTube, it could be gone overnight.
I personally think that this is just another giant red flag as to why we need a competitor to YouTube, though.
I don't think you need a competitor. I just think you need better business models. Like, there's people...
No, I totally think we need a competitor.
I don't care.
To be honest, I'm so tired of YouTube. Like,
well, YouTube sucks.
The fact that they censor fucking everything. They have to be kid friendly. If anything's got... Like, it's incredible to me how much stuff that YouTube will pull down and it's just, I don't know.
Amazing amount of garbage they don't pull down that shouldn't even be up.
I know. It boggles my mind. The stuff that manages to stay up and the stuff that somehow stays, gets pulled down. It just, I don't know. I feel like if somebody was to make a proper, and I mean, I think that YouTube at this point is almost too big to fail in a way, but
when you have millions of channels,
I
think it's impossible. You can't, there's no amount of employees you can hire to curate that. That's feasible.
No, I agree with that.
Possible.
But if you were to hire a bunch of people that could somehow do a better job of at least looking at,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you have just an open platform. You have to deal by their rules, and that's the end of it. And if you don't like it, someone can come by. But like you said, sure, people have tried to compete with YouTube, but they've just ran away with it, right? It's like Netflix. People try to compete with Netflix, but you let them go unchallenged for so long. I don't want to talk about the faults and problems with YouTube. YouTube's great, and YouTube's terrible all at the same time. I don't make a living off of YouTube. I'd be upset. But being someone that knows how the internet works, if it ain't your API, if it ain't your servers, if it ain't your platform, be prepared for it to disappear overnight. And if you didn't make a get out bag or an emergency plan for that, it's your fucking fault. It's not YouTube's fault. It's your fault.
I guess my point is if the flip side of this as well, though, is that eventually a lot of the people that are making this content that is making YouTube millions of dollars, they will stop making this content and they will move elsewhere. So it is a weird.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Where do you go?
There is a partnership that happens here because, YouTube definitely, it's a two-way street.
It is a two-way street.
Without these people, yes, YouTube is still going to be hosting everyone's cat videos, and they're making a little bit of money off of a whole bunch of people, but they're not making their bulk of their ad revenue.
Just do fine if they lost PewDiePie and they lost all the top. YouTube wouldn't even. They maybe feel it a tiny bit, but you know what? For the most part,
my point isn't so much about losing a few people, though. My point is, if you get a whole bunch of people that suddenly realize this is no longer a viable option as to how to make a living and how to do this, that can really affect them heavily. If you've got a ton of people that were hoping to maybe get into YouTube or hoping to make YouTube videos and make a living that are now rethinking it,
I think that
either deciding not to at all, I think that this is going to be a thing that's happening, and I think that that's something that YouTube also needs to look at as well. Because
there are alternatives for people who make quality content to make an income and a more reliable income. stuff like Patreon and other like crowd-funded programs that you can get around the relying on YouTube, for your income. You can still use it as your delivery mechanism, but get your income through, subscribers and whatnot. So there are alternatives, but I think it's great, and I think it's terrible at the same time. If I was a YouTuber, I'd be on the other side of this. I'd be screaming bloody murder and waving a flag and yelling at YouTube, but
of course, because you may or may not be able to make your mortgage this month, right? That's a whole nother ballgame.
But at the same time, being more tech savvy and knowing how these platforms work, like there's businesses in the early days of Twitter because Twitter's API was open.
Mm-hmm.
You can't base your business off of someone else's shit that you don't own. And then Twitter's like, oh, guess what? We're shutting that down. Overnight, like dozens of apps and
TweetDeck and various ones that I used to use that were great,
and platforms were shut down. That's like jobs gone. That's income disappeared. Good. Guess what? That's what happens when you don't own the platform. I don't think it's a bad thing. YouTube needs to come up with a solution for the crappy content. Whether, if you can't censor yourself or create a show that is ad friendly, then you get no ads. It's as simple as that. If you want the ads, then you have to adhere to the rules. The people on TV adhere to the rules. There's rules on TV. There's fines if you say stuff and do stuff. There's fines if you advertise straight to children. There's repercussions on TV. There's no repercussions on YouTube. And this stuff needs to start happening. Now, the whole question about censorship.
Look at Daddy Rico coming out over there. He's now that you've got a daughter that's going to be growing up in this YouTube culture.
Let me finish.
You're thinking about it a little harder.
Let me finish. There is the whole question about censorship. And I can say what I want. You can do whatever you want on your platform. But guess what? None of these people have a platform. They don't have backbones. They don't pay for bandwidth. They don't have any of the stuff that they could do any of this. Maybe some of the biggest YouTubers could afford to pay for websites and servers and host their own videos. But guess what? They would be making no money because no one's going to come advertise on them. Your endorsement deals aren't going to pay some of them might pay their mortgages, but for the most part, most of them won't. This free platform, got you where you are, but you had to have always known that this could potentially happen. So it sucks both ways. I could see if I was a big YouTuber, like I said, I'd be super fucking choked. But I'm not, and I can see. But it also highlights YouTube's shitty, or Google in general, their shittiness when it comes to curating the content or having an effective algorithm for sorting stuff. Or it kind of touches on the fake news stuff, right? A little bit, it's like these are problems that they don't have the solutions for. When you have so much data coming in to manage and sort, it's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
So the simple solution is pull it all and then work backwards from there, right? I bet you there'll be a solution. But
of course, YouTube's already said, we're working on it. We got a little bit hasty. We've had to pull back on our algorithm, and a lot of things got falsely flagged. And a big part of this as well at the beginning was the fact that people had no way to appeal it, which of course YouTube has said that was a bug, and they should be able to appeal now. So that's also part of it. So
they've got solutions for the top YouTubers who they know by name and will fix. But for say they demonetize my one video that made tons of money, right?
Right.
They're not going to give a shit about me.
No.
But they're going to care about PewDiePie and, Casey Neistat and all these top guys. But, the tool, they don't have tools for the majority. They have methods for the minority because they have YouTube's phone number. And or they can walk into the office and go, hey, what the fuck? Oh, no problem, man. You're our favorite. We love you. We'll fix it right away. And that's...
Well, no, they shut down the office.
But I don't know.
Yeah. The whole thing is a weird thing. I don't really know. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Video on the internet is expensive.
Yeah.
And these are the realities that, are.
Well, I think that advertisers are waking up now and realizing,
I don't want my shit on
holy
that crap.
shit, we're spending all this money on advertisements that are playing on YouTube videos, and there was a time when we saw something coming from that, and now it's just everybody is so sick and tired of ads being there that they all wait just to skip. And
yeah, it could be more the effect.
How much is it even really?
The effectiveness of these ads, or like, are you happy that your ad for your car is in front of some screaming fucking idiot dropping F-bombs every 2 seconds?
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I don't want my ad on that. I don't want to be associated with that. Chevy supports this, or Coke supports, it's just a headline. It's a headline you don't want to be part of, right?
I feel like anybody with half a brain realizes that just because your ad happens to show up before a video doesn't mean that you're the one that says, yay,
this is true.
I endorse this shit.
This is true, but it's the outrage internet culture. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I get that there's a whole bunch of idiots out there.
And you're unable to be proven innocent. You're just guilty.
Yeah. So.
Oh, fuck YouTube.
So that's the thing that's happening.
Fuck YouTube. I mean, I love YouTube. Fuck whiny rich YouTubers. I mean, that sucks for them. I see both sides of the argument.
Yeah. So BioWare, apparently they're promising big changes for Mass Effect. AKA they're going to start fixing it now.
Apparently, I think the patch already went out. Or it goes out by the time... I think it's already gone out. Or it's going out by the time this is out. I think they have more announcements on Thursday. They detailed their first patch. Bug improvements.
This coming Thursday, so when this podcast is up, they'll have dropped the patch. Right.
So the patch comes out Thursday. And there's a big list of stuff here. Improved tutorial, improved inventory limits, like a bunch of balance changes. I think there's some stuff with the improved lip sync and facial acting. There's a
fixed various collision issues.
This kind of almost seemed like
it's massive.
Should have been like day one patch.
Yeah,
but they also, what we're kind of learning that this game was kind of rushed out the door a little bit to get it in the fiscal quarter for EA's pocketbooks, and they're also talking about that there's going to be even more stuff coming down the pipeline to make the game better and make fans happy. So that's cool. By the time I get back to Andromeda, it'll be a good Mass Effect game.
Yeah, I will hold off on this one. I don't know. I was, like I said before, I was hoping that this was going to be a great jumping in point into the Mass Effect games, seeing as I hadn't played the other ones except for the first one a bit. And at this point, I feel with everything out there that there is to play and stuff that I'll probably skip this.
Or wait for it to go on sale.
Or wait to get it on a really good sale 6 months from now after they've patched and fixed all this crap.
That's it for news.
Yeah.
Public service announcements. PlayStation Plus free games for April have been announced. Drawn to Death, PS4. I think we knew that already.
Yeah, they previously announced that.
Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, PS4. Invisimals, Lost Kingdom, PS3, no one cares. Alien Rage, PS3, no one cares. 10-Second Ninja, PS Vita, fuck, I don't know, whatever.
Cross-buy with PS4.
And then Curses and Chaos, cross-buy on PS4 and PS Vita. I wonder if they're part of this video or not. Drawn to Death looks cool. It's a first-person shooter from David Jaffe. It is a new game. It is a unique game. It is also...
I feel like this is one of those things where they're hoping that if they give it away for free to everybody, that they'll get enough people playing it that it'll gain some traction.
I think it being a PS Plus title will help it find some success. I think, honestly, that game looks really cool, but I'm pretty sure that game would have...
With everything else happening
at
right
retail,
now, it would have got lost in the ether.
Yeah, I think that game would have just bombed at retail, so I think that's saving grace for them. It looks cool as hell. It's a stylized first-person shooter, but we'll see. I think you can download it now. We should download that and talk about it on the show.
We should probably do that.
Attack on Titan Season 2 is out. If you got Crunchyroll or Funimation's streaming service, whatever the hell that's called, I don't even know. You can...
Isn't that Crunchyroll?
No, Crunchyroll... What? Oh, is it? No, I think there's 2 platforms. Are they... I don't fucking know.
Crunchyroll was Funimation.
Whatever.
Anyways.
Crunchyroll.
It's out now.
Get that Crunchyroll on and get your Attack on Titan Season 2.
Is that only if you're a premium member, or is that also if you're a free member?
God damn it.
Man, so many questions and you got no answers.
Clearly, if you're a premium, I'm pretty sure it's not free. But I'm pretty sure they have a 1-month trial, so free trial. Yeah, 2 week
free. I meant free if you watch the ads.
There's a 2-week free unlimited trial. Watch unlimited from $6.95 a month, Canadian. I feel like Crunchyroll has gone down in price. I don't remember it being that cheap.
I feel like it's always been cheap, but
it felt like it was $10 or $15.
My biggest issue is that all the anime that I really like is all the stuff from back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
PS4.
And none of that stuff's on there. It's all new.
The cool thing about Crunchyroll is that they broadcast stuff as soon as to an hour after it's broadcast on TV and on Japanese TV.
That's pretty
cool. Yeah.
So some of those shows come out very quickly. You don't have to wait.
And there's a Crunchyroll app on PS4, Xbox One. It's built into some TVs, iOS, Android. You can do it on your phone. I might have to resub. I wonder if I can get a free trial again since I haven't been a member for like a couple of years. Because I think on Attack on Titan it was like 3 years ago I watched it. Yeah, it was like 3 years ago, dude. Shit, son.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch that. God damn it. Rick and Morty Season 3, Episode 1 was on continuous loop all April Fools. Everyone was like, Sweet. What the fudge? And yeah, it was an amazing episode of Rick and Morty. A good start to Season 3. Now, the rest of the season, I think, is coming out this summer still. But, man, that was a fucking awesome episode. I watched it twice. It was so good. It is really fucking good. Rick and Morty is really good. If you have not...
I know. I honestly need to watch more of that show. If you have not watched
Rick and Morty, oh my god. Seriously, the first...
I've seen a couple episodes.
In my opinion, the first episode is the worst episode. So, if you can get through that... I don't know. Some people think the first episode is amazing. For some reason, I don't really like the first episode. There's some funny shit in the first episode.
Right.
But man, what a fantastic fucking show. It's so funny. It's a cartoon. We've talked about it before. The Season 3 opener was pretty awesome. That was a cool April Fool's.
Good.
The Defenders get a release date. They released a little snippet, little video of... Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil sitting in an elevator. And Jessica Jones ends up punching a security camera that's watching them. It's a tiny clip. It's like...
Yeah, it's a teaser,
like 15 seconds long. She...
It was cool to see them all in the same place, though.
She punches the camera, and people put together the camera time code stops at 08/18/2017. So...
wow.
Apparently people figured, that must be the dates coming out, so August 18th. So that's Netflix exclusive.
There you go.
And that's it for PSAs. We can get into our free-for-all. And speaking of Netflix exclusive shows and the Defenders, I started watching Iron Fist.
Okay.
I had to satisfy the curiosity that was the internet saying that this show was shit.
So tell me about Iron Fist. I have yet to start it. I want to start it.
I kind of like Iron Fist.
Because I feel like I'm going to have the opinion that I'm probably going to really like it.
It's not amazing.
Fair enough. How many episodes in are you?
4.
Okay.
There is some questionable acting.
Fair
don't
enough.
know how I feel about the casting of the main guy. I like him, but I know nothing about Iron Fist, so I'm not walking in with that coloring my impression of him.
So, I've seen some clips of some of the fight scenes in this show. The only thing, and again, I have not yet watched the show, so I cannot say one way or another yet. But that being said, Iron Fist is supposed to be one of the greatest martial artists in all of the Marvel Universe. And the fight scenes that I saw, he was sure as shit not that.
Yeah, he kind of just he looks like a guy.
That's one of my only kind of complaints about it so far.
Definitely doesn't look, they're not as good as the fight scene in Daredevil.
Right.
Now, I don't know why, if this is something that's probably going to get better. Maybe as a more obscure Marvel character, this show had a smaller budget, which kind of seems like why
he is not as obscure as Jessica Jones. Come on.
Jessica Jones had a pretty big cult following.
So does Iron Fist.
I didn't know who fucking Iron Fist was until I saw the Disney Infinity little toy of him. He's a weirdo with the yellow bandana.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The dragon on his chest.
I think I like it because the internet said it was so bad that it's like, it's not that bad.
So you're going into it with zero expectations?
Oh, well, I know nothing about Iron Fist. I will say it's not as slow. I like as the run up in Luke Cage.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like Luke Cage, and he is, in my opinion, the best cast actor for any of the Netflix characters, in my opinion.
Oh, man. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I really like him. Stuff. No, I'm talking about the Netflix stuff.
Oh yeah,
well. I thought that Daredevil and Jessica Jones are both really solid casting, but I do love him.
What's the villain's name in
Luke
Jessica
Cage.
Jones again?
The Purple Man?
Yeah, with a K. Kilgrave. Is that it?
Yeah.
He is fantastic. But that's the actor who was Doctor Who, right?
Yes, it is.
He's a fucking, what's his name?
Way to put me on the spot.
Whatever. He's a fucking awesome actor. He was an amazing.
Yeah, he's great.
He's hands down, in my opinion, the best villain out of any of the Marvel stuff, including the movies.
He's also playing Scrooge McDuck in the upcoming remake of DuckTales.
What? So anyway, yeah, the acting's kind of questionable. Yeah, the fighting's not fucking Daredevil quality, but I'm entertained. I'm enjoying it. I want to know what's happening. I want to know his story of this alternate version of Batman, because that's basically what the fuck he is to me so far. Little different story, but my parents are super rich, and you know, my parents are dead. I came back and I know martial arts and kung fu. I'm Batman, but I'm not Batman. I'm Iron Fist.
Right. David Tennant was the Purple Man.
That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't positive, so I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it's the internet saying it sucks that me watching is like, hey, this ain't that bad. I'm going to continue watching it. I don't fucking hate it. I don't think it's a steaming pile of shit.
Fair enough.
I am entertained. I am also watching it while working out. So,
oh, cool.
It's my workout. I've been pretty consistent lately, jumping on the elliptical and working out in their little
pumping iron while watching Iron Fist.
In our fake little gym there. And yes, I've been pumping iron and doing cardio while watching Iron Fist. And
going to pump you up.
I need to be bigger than this motherfucker, and then I can take him out.
Yeah.
I also saw Assassin's Creed. Me and my wife watched Assassin's Creed. Did you see Assassin's Creed?
No. Not yet.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's about what I thought it would be.
I thought it was cool. There were some neat things. I have been a huge Assassin's Creed fan in the past. Mm-hmm. Not so much lately, just more because of, God damn it, I think there's 20 Assassin's Creed games and I'm just kind of burnt out.
That's, I think, why they skipped last year.
So I think besides that, I've really liked the Assassin's Creed games. I really like Michael Fassbender. I think he's awesome. There's some cool stuff they do in this movie to explain the whole premise of the Animus and the way Assassin's Creed, the games work, how they go in the past. Through DNA memories and all this bullshit. I thought it was not a bad movie. It was pretty entertaining. There's nods to some of the earlier games in terms of cool fight moves. Like there's like straight up like combos that as Ezio or what's the first assassin guy's name from the first game?
Oh man, really scraping back there.
Altair. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, Altair. Yeah, you're right.
There's actual like moves from the game, I swear, in some of the fight scenes in the movie, which I thought was cool because I feel like that's pretty. I feel like that's a nod to people who played those games. If you knew the combat systems really well, it's like I remember doing that to a couple guys exactly like that in the game, which I thought was neat.
Right.
I thought the story was not bad with the whole Assassin Templar setup.
Right. Do they spend as little time in the Animus as I've heard they do in the movie?
Yeah, there's not that. There is, I'd say maybe a third max of the movies in the Animus.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, that's kind of what I heard. I heard that it was a much smaller amount than you think it would be.
Not in the Animus, but I don't know. It was. I don't know. I liked it. It's not amazing. Being an Assassin's Creed fan, I probably give it more bonus points
leeway
for because I like the games. Maybe if you never played the games, as someone coming in off the street, you're probably like, "What the fuck was that all about?"
Right.
I can't remember.
So that's what my wife will say.
Yeah, my wife didn't mind it. She was like, "That wasn't bad," but she wasn't like, "That was awesome." Or she wasn't like, "I just wasted my life. Why did we watch that?" She enjoyed it. I think they kind of set up, leave it open for sequels. I don't think it'll get any, because I don't know how well it did in the theaters.
Yeah, I don't... It's so hard, because nowadays, I feel like they've marred the video game to movie thing so bad that I think that even video gamers are sort of worried to go see movies in the theater now.
It wasn't the X-Men 1 for video game movies, let's just say.
Right, and I feel like that's what they're still searching for.
Yeah, and people were really...
nobody has managed to get...
This looked like it was on the right track, with Michael Fassbender and a big budget, and it looked really cool. I don't know if it was just the story. I feel like they've got too many people making video game movies that are not fans of the video game. Yeah, I don't know.
I know for a fact that Michael Fassbender, when he signed on to do the movie, he didn't even know what Assassin's Creed was.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. You're an actor. He watched some stuff and he did a great job. I'm sure he did, because he's Michael Fassbender.
He was great.
But my point is that unless you have people, I think, that are on board in the proper places as far as writers and people that love those characters and love those universes, I think we're going to continue to get this mediocre stuff from those properties.
I think video games are hard.
I agree.
Because video games are 50, 100-hour experiences in world. It's more than just the story. It's the world. And being in it.
Unlike a book, where with a book, you're taking a universe and you have quite a bit.
You've got a script.
You're building something. Yeah, you have but you're also building it visually how you see it. And a lot of people are going to read the book and they may not visualize it quite like you.
I didn't like Harry Potter because in my head it looked like this. Or I didn't.
But ultimately, you have some freedoms with it to do with it as you like.
Whereas a game,
and a lot of exactly. Whereas a game, you have these characters look like this. These characters
you have set expectations
totally
of the world,
totally,
and the story.
And in some cases, a story even. So now what do? Do you take one of the video games, what all the fans know, and do you redo that in movie? Or do you try and tell another story in that universe with those characters that may or may not work? Like, I feel like it's a hard thing. It's
very tough. And I don't know if having a video game fan, director, or actors is the solution, but I think the challenge is you're taking potentially hundreds of hours of storytelling that people have seen, like you said already. It's something that already exists, and expectations are already there. To compress into a 2-hour movie is even harder than a book. A book's different, like you said.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I think it's tough.
I do also feel that it definitely has to do with people not being.
I'm pretty sure if you got the Marvel production,
fan of the content.
Pretty sure if you got the Marvel production studio to do a video game, a movie for, I don't know, say Mass Effect or
they'd probably bung it up, or
Uncharted, or some. I don't know. Comics are visual. You've got no leeway. You've got the world created. You've got the expectations.
But look at how long it took them to get that right.
Yeah.
I mean, they made a lot of comic book movies before they finally had that eureka.
I had high hopes. The negative buzz around launch made me go, okay, I don't need to run up to the theater and watch this.
Yeah.
But you know what? I thought it was okay. As a pay-per-view movie, I thought it was neat. But again, I really like Assassin's Creed, so...
And that's
fair. For someone who maybe doesn't like Assassin's Creed, they might be like, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
Because some of the concepts are kind of,
out there and video gamey.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I think part of it, too, is they've chose very poor video games to try and turn into movies, in all honesty. I think Assassin's Creed was a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it looked...
I feel like
they were so close on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too bad.
So
I still liked it. But what movie would you like to see from a video game?
I feel like out of the ones that would make sense and be somewhat easy to do, I mean, Uncharted, I feel like would be a somewhat easier thing to make.
Uncharted seems like a no-brainer. It's a Indiana Jones.
But it's also got a great... I feel like the stories and stuff that they've already told, like you could take one of those, live action it, and you'd pretty much have a movie. The supporting characters are written so well.
Maybe the fans of Uncharted would be upset with because they're so attached to the existing characters, and of course it's going to be different actors and different voices, but the mainstream wouldn't know that, and they'd be like, hey, that was a fun, movie in the vein of like the classic Indiana Jones. So it might have some critical success. Yeah.
I mean, like you said, so it's hard because some games, like you said earlier, are 50 hours that you play, but how many of those hours are, for all intents and purposes, throwaway?
Oh yeah, the 40.
You're spending
48 hours of it could be throwaway.
Exactly right. So I think that there is also a lot of. I mean, I think probably The Last of Us could probably be turned into a movie that would.
Really good movie too. Again, Naughty Dog again.
We're talking about two Naughty Dog
amazing stories.
Right?
Like two of the best video game stories or executed video game / stories. Period.
Yeah. There's a part of me that wants to say Metal Gear Solid, but there's the other part of me that thinks that it's just way too fucking crazy to put on screen as a movie.
Metal Gear, and it sounds like a cool
too
concept,
out there.
But
yeah.
I think they could make a cool Destiny movie.
Yeah, I think that if the right people were on board, I think that would be possible.
Sci-fi action movie, one of the millions of stories from that universe.
Mm-hmm.
In the vein of like people love Star Wars.
Yeah.
Destiny is like a version of Star Wars. You got fantastical powers and
Mass Effect,
big bad guys. Yeah, Mass Effect seems like a no-brainer too.
Mm-hmm. I'm half surprised they haven't made a Call of Duty movie yet.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, those are ripe for... They're just action movies, essentially. But you're playing the game. Yeah. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about what you? Is that the anime you alluded to earlier that you saw?
Yeah, man. I've started watching Outlaw Star on my TV,
Netflix, or alternative methods.
Yeah, no, I picked it up on. I managed to find it at one of my local stores. I got out the DVDs. I think they are releasing a Blu-ray version of it as well. Is it
old or new?
It's older. I think it came out in like 98, 99.
Yeah, that's fucking ancient.
I kind of missed it when it first came out.
I've never watched it. I have no idea what it is.
Do you like Firefly?
Excuse me. Firefly is pretty cool.
If you like Firefly and you like anime, you will like Outlaw Star.
I'm looking at some images for it here.
It is a Firefly-ass anime. It's awesome.
Looks like
bunch of dudes. They got pirates.
I was going to say, it looks like Skies of Arcadia.
There's even a girl that doesn't really know where she's from or what's going on with her, but a lot of people want her. Kind of like Firefly. There's a dude that doesn't really know what he's doing, but suddenly becomes the captain of a ship who's cruising around out there, and he's a total badass. He manages to get a ragtag team of people together, they go on zany adventures.
The plot follows protagonist Gene Starwind and his motley crew of an inherited ship dubbed the Outlaw Star.
As
they search for a legendary outer space treasure trove called the Galactic Leyline. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah. It's great.
Space opera, space western.
10. Like I said, it's a Firefly-ass anime. It's awesome.
1996 to 1999. Does it say how many episodes there are here? 3 volumes, so I guess that's 3 seasons worth.
Yeah, there's not... How does this work? There's not that many... that may seem like there's a lot, but there's actually not. There's only 26 episodes. So yeah, that's kind of how that worked.
Cool.
There's 26 episodes. Great. I'm on episode 12 now. Episode 11 is where I just finished watching.
This played on Toonami Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it was. You don't want to watch that one. It's real bad.
It's apparently super edited too.
Yeah, it's super censored, super edited. It's terrible. That's not the one you want. They did re-release it later. I can't remember who it is that I've got the DVDs from that are a lot better. They were the actual versions from Japan. But yes, it was released on Toonami, but it was terrible. So, and I believe
it is on Blu-ray.
Read somewhere that there was. Is it on Blu-ray now? Okay. Because I remembered reading somewhere that they were putting it out on Blu-ray, which I was kind of excited about because I would really like to watch it in HD. But yeah, it's great. It's a great show.
There's just people hoping it's on Blu-ray.
Oh, okay. If you like anime and you liked Firefly, it's a no-brainer. Check it out. It's great.
It's coming out on Blu-ray in June. So there's a box set coming out. It's on DVD now.
Yes. Yeah, because I managed to find like the used DVD copies at my local video game store. So that's kind of why I started watching it. I was like, oh, I'd heard about this. This looks kind of interesting. So I picked it up cheap. Now I'm kind of hooked, and now I want to buy the Blu-ray.
Is it? Have you watched Cowboy Bebop?
You know what? I have not, actually. And now that I'm watching this, now I really want to watch Cowboy Bebop. I
have watched Cowboy Bebop. And
everybody tells me that I need to watch Cowboy Bebop because it's awesome.
Cowboy Bebop is very... Oh, it looks like it's on Crunchyroll.
Oh, fantastic. There was another one. Neo Genesis Evangelion.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
That... I own that. Sort of started. I've sort of started watching.
There's a lot of episodes.
It's not that many. It's only one season.
It's long.
You mean the 3 movies afterwards as well?
The movies are weird. The movies are kind of like the show redone.
Well, the first one is. The really second weird. One is like the ending. Because apparently, I haven't watched it, but from what I understand, the ending, a lot of people were not happy about.
So they redid it.
Yeah, the first movie was this weird thing where they like reshowed the whole show and then did a bit of an ending. And then the second movie, where they actually redid pretty much the whole movie, is a different ending about what actually happened.
Yeah, trust me, that was pretty fucked up watching that. Because in Japanese, and it's like, what the fuck's going? What? Huh? It's like they retconned their whole story.
You know, one of my big complaints with anime is the fact that they don't seem to know how to end things properly.
Yeah,
I have
really bad ending. You are absolutely right.
I've rarely watched an anime that ended great, where I was like, wow, that ended awesome. Most of them, it's like either some weird incoherent bullshit and suddenly it's just over and you went like, what the hell just happened? Or it just ends because they were hoping that they were going to have a new season and they got canceled, so they just end it. Or they drop all of these storylines that they were working on and just end it in some short, crappy way because they did get canceled. But yeah, not very many animes that I think I've ever watched had a solid ending. I think maybe Black Lagoon being one of the few that I watched that had an ending that I was like, oh, cool, right on.
Holy fuck, Evangelion's that old? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, super old.
Well, it's not super old, but it's from 95, 96.
Yeah, it's pretty old.
That's back from when I used to run the video game store. We rented, that's how I watched them. We rented the DVDs. Like, we had an anime section in our video game store.
You mean you rented them on VHS?
No, DVDs were out in the 90s, fucker.
Dude, the PlayStation 2 came with a DVD drive, and it came out in 2000.
No. How the fuck did I swear we rented these movies.
Look it up. I'm not saying that the DVD wasn't around earlier than that, because it was, but I'm just saying that it became mainstream when the PS2 dropped one in, and the PS2 launched in 2000.
Did it? Jesus Christ. I swear we rented these on DVD. Anyway, whatever. That's a different story for another day. But we had an anime section. Maybe they were VHSs.
March 4th, 2000. That
doesn't seem right.
PlayStation 2.
That doesn't seem right. But DVDs were out before the PS2 had a DVD drive.
Like I said, the DVD was out, yes, but it became big
because of the PS2.
Because of the PS2. Okay, so it was developed and invented in 95, which means that it actually wasn't going to be in DVD drives or anything for a few years. The format went on sale in Japan in 95, and it didn't come out in Canada, the US, and the rest of the world until 97.
Yeah, because I was there until 2000. So maybe it was the last year that we had them on DVD. Because I swear to God, that's how I watched them. It was from my work. And we were ahead of the curve. Like, we imported shit, right?
Yeah.
We had imported, we imported the Dreamcast and the Saturn and stuff at my work. And that was because I was such a freak. I convinced my boss into doing that stuff.
Right.
Which he wasn't too opposed to because we got lots of JRPGs and he was an RPG freak.
So it worked out.
Yeah, where everyone won. Win-win.
There you go.
I think that's it, my friend. Our rambling has gone on for a really long time.
It has.
So, episode 102 is in the gigabits and in your ear holes. Thanks for listening, everyone. You can follow me you can follow me on YouTube, where I'm not making any money. at Geekoholics. Now, you can follow me on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF.
You can come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
And, of course, subscribe to us on YouTube, Geekoholics. Follow us on Twitter, Geekoholics. Like us on Facebook, Geekoholics. And leave us a review on any and all podcast apps, sites, services that allow
things that
allow reviews.
To...
And yeah, if you're a new listener, thanks for hanging out with us. And old listeners,
we'll see you next week.
Thanks for putting up with us. Yeah, see you next week. We're out. Peace.
JRPGs.
Like Persona 5.